All right, so let's try and get this right this time and make sure that we have audio as we're working on things. We are going to do our additive model along with a basic intro to some of the things that OnShape has to offer. Now, when we're getting started here, we should have already created a folder, and we should have named that folder Modeling Skills. Now that we're inside that folder, Modeling Skills, we should be creating a new document, and we should be naming that new document our name, followed by the name of the file that we're creating. Again, we want to make sure that we're using useful, reasonable names for that. I've already created a file that we're going to work with, so I'm going to open that right here. So here we are looking at our first thing, and as we look at it, the first thing that you should see when you log on is you should basically have something that looks like this. These are 3 work planes. Work planes are built into 3D modeling systems to help provide us with width, height, and depth, okay? Each one of these work planes represents 2 of those dimensions, okay? Now, let's talk about how OnShape is set up. Right over here, we have the sketch command. Sketch is one of the most important commands we use. We use it all the time. It's a primary kind of thing. Starting here on the left with the sketch, moving to the right, commands get less used and maybe less important, okay? The most important, most frequently used commands you're going to find over here on the left, and then as you move this way, there's less importance. This is true of pretty much every software program you use. If you were to go to Google Slides or Google Sheets or PowerPoint and look, the commands that you start with are on the left, and as you move further and further right, there are commands that some people never even use and never even think to look for because they're not necessary, okay? The next thing that I like about SketchUp is that if you need to figure out how to do something, the best way is to either look for a picture that looks like what you want to do, or hover over commands starting on the left and working our way right, hover over the pictures and see if you can tell what they do. Sketch, create a new sketch on the selected plane, planar face, or make connector. A sketch is the basis for all parts and must be created in order to use extrude or other feature tools. That sounds like what we want to do. Then if you look, it has instructions. So step 1, select a plane. Step 2, select a sketch tool. Step 3, create sketch curves, and that can be straight lines too. And step 4, click the green check mark to save or the red X to cancel. Well, that's a pretty good detail. So I click sketch, and even though they gave me those instructions, they kind of make sure that I have the things that I need. So right here it says sketch plane, meaning I need to tell it where I want to sketch. Over here it says select a sketch plane, saying, hey, this is what you got to do now. So I click on it, and it pops up and it says sketch 1, and sketch 1 is in alignment with the work plane here, okay? Now what I want to do is I want to set this up so that I can see it. This object over here is what we call our view cube. The view cube allows us to look at the object from different points of view. This is a really useful tool that you're going to have to get used to using and navigating. Notice that if you click the corners, that it will pop you around to look at it from different corners. If you click special view, it'll show you that view exactly. If you click the arrows, it will turn the view ever so slightly until it's looking the way that you want it to. Now, if you ever get lost, you can click on the square and click isometric, and it'll send it back home. For this example, we want to use the front view. And so I click front, it zooms in, and we have everything we need right there. Excuse me, I apologize for that. You know that's the picture that YouTube's going to use as the face for this, me going like that. They always pick the worst faces. Anyway, let's go ahead and create the sketch. I'm going to click line because this is where I want to start, because again, I started on the left and I work my way right. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create that triangular shape that's on the 3D model. So I'm just going to drag a line there and then click and let go. I'm going to drag a line here, click and let go. I'm going to drag a line here, click and let go. And so now I have this shape drawn. The next thing that I want to do is I want to dimension it. Dimension is this command right there. Okay, it's at the top of your screen. If you're working on a Chromebook, it may be further to the right of it as one of the last commands you'll see, but this is our dimension command. And dimensioning is saying how big something is. From here to here is how big it is. So I click dimension, and for this one, I'm just going to click on the line. A number pops up, and I'm going to bring it down. And I'm not worried that the number's not right, because when I click it, it allows me to edit the dimension. 5 inches, exactly what I want. Click this dimension and drag it over, and it's 2 inches. And so here we go. We have these 2 dimensions. We're done. All the lines are black, which is good because that means we're fully constrained. I'll show you more of that on the second sketch because we have more options to do it there. Now, because of how I've started modeling, I like to send myself to the isometric view so I can get a look at what this looks like in 3 dimensions. Then I'm going to hit Finish Sketch, and now I'm ready to go in and model. Notice how when you go from Sketch to Finish Sketch, these commands change. If you don't see these commands up here, it means that you're not in sketch mode. Okay? If your commands look like this, you're in the 3D model mode. Now, 3D model mode, I've already done a sketch. I now want to make this into a 3-dimensional object. So I've got all these options I can use. Let's see what the first one on the left is. If I hover over, extrude allows me to create new parts. And so it says select regions or faces. I like that. So I'm going to do it. Now, when we look in here, we see we have options. I can either extrude a solid or I can extrude a surface. We're not using surface right now. I don't know if we ever will. Then I have a choice for new, add, remove, or intersect. You're going to use the remove command when you do subtractive modeling. For right now, we want to add. We don't want to do new. New means that it's actually creating a new part. For what we're doing, it's not a big deal because this is just one thing. But we want to make sure that if we're trying to make one object kind of extrude and pull and go different ways, and it's all from the same piece, that we're not making it new. We're making add. Then it wants us to choose the faces and sketches we want to extrude. Well, down here I've got this gray shape, so I'm going to click that. Oh, this is new. I apologize because it's a new extrusion. So we have the faces of the sketch that we want, and now I need to know if I want blind or symmetric. We want symmetric, okay? So let's check this off and make sure we have it right. Solid, new, face of sketch, symmetric. Now the depth. How wide do I want that thing to be? Well, 5 inches is our goal. So I click 5 and I say check mark. And so there we have our object. Now I'm ready to create the sketch of the circles. So I click sketch there. And this one's a little tricky because I don't have a perfect surface that lines up with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click right. And we see that we're looking at this, but it's squashed up. That's going to make it hard to do the things that I want to. So I'm going to click the arrow, and it's going to tilt it down slowly as I look at it. And so I click circle, and I draw the circles that I want. And I wanted 4 circles. So there we go. And so now I need to make these circles line up. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to use the line command. But right now, the way my line is it's a solid line, or what we call an object line. An object line is a line that we use to create features. If we're not creating a feature out of this line, we don't want to make it an object line. It can confuse the program, and it can cause headaches as we get into more complicated things. What we're interested in is what's called a construction line. So I'm going to click that construction line, and I'm going to click from here to there. Okay, that's good. That's what we want. Notice how that's dotted and that's solid. So this is a construction line right now. This is a solid line. But I want this to be a solid line. So I just hit the escape button on my keyboard, ESC, upper left-hand corner. Lets me stop and start over. And I'm going to click this, and I'm going to click this, and I just turned it into a construction line. Okay. Now, this cross is all wonky. I want that to be a nice, flat, 90-degree looking thing. So I'm going to click perpendicular, and I'm going to say that from here to there Look at that, 90 degrees, dead on, everything's perfect. Now I'm going to click the parallel command. I'm going to click this line, and I'm going to click this line, and it's going to make those parallel to each other. There's a whole slew of geometric constraints up here that you can use. You'll want to become familiar with them. The more that we do this kind of stuff, the more of these that you'll use. I want to show you one thing. I'm going to shrink my screen just a little bit so that you can see what happens. Notice that if my screen shrinks, okay, kind of to the size that yours is, there's this dimension tool is further over on the right, but then all of a sudden, all those geometric constraints I had are gone. Well, to get them, click on this little arrow that's located right there, and they're all back. And what's nice is it actually tells you the name of all of them, which can make it a little bit easier. Now, I need to make all these circles the same size or equal dimensions. I could come in and dimension all four, but that means that if I needed to change them, I would have to change all four. That can cause time. So instead, what I want to do is I want to use the equal command. So I click the equal command and I say that you to you are the same size, and you to you are the same size, and you to you are the same size. And if you remember anything from math where it says if A equals B, and B equals C, and C equals D, then we can make the assumption that A equals D. This is kind of where that comes in. When you're creating more complicated things, if you have things that need to be the same size, you can make those equal constraints, and then they will all be the same size. All right. Now we're ready to add dimensions. Remember earlier when I said that the lines were blue, and that meant that they weren't fully dimensioned, and that when they were black, that was good? That's what we want. Black is good here. So I'm going to click this line, and I'm going to click here, and I'm going to bring it down. And I want this exactly in the middle, so I'm going to make it 2.5. Look at that. Notice how that line all of a sudden has gone from blue to black? That's because it's fully constrained. So now I'm going to click the bottom of the line and this line, and I'm going to pull it over, and that allows me to make it 3 inches. And again, notice how that went to black. There's one last option for dimensioning. We now need to dimension these circles. There's a couple ways I could do it. I could just dimension this line and say that I want the line 2 inches. And that may or may not give me what I want. I really want to make sure that the circles are 1 inch from each other. So I'm going to click from dot to dot with my dimension, and I'm going to bring it all the way off my page. Taking your dimensions all the way off the, not the page, off the part are really important. It keeps the part clean and makes things look good. Now I'm going to click this one and go dot to dot and make it 1 inches. And notice how I tried to line it up with that so it would look neat and clean. And I'm going to take you over and make you 1 inch. And now I'm going to take you dot to dot and make it 1 inch. And so now I have this object and I have all the dimensions. But when we look at it, notice how those circles are still blue. That means we're missing a dimension. Well, what dimension could we be missing? We forgot to say how big the circles need to be. We know they're all equal, but we don't know how big they are. They should be 1/2 inch or 0.5. Do that. Notice how all the circles changed. Everything looks good. Everything's black, and black is good. So I hit check. And now I'm going to click this and send it to isometric. And I'm going to extrude. And again, this is where we were talking about, do we want to do a new or an add? And we want to do an add, especially since we already have the piece here. Wants to know what we want to extrude. You've got to tell it. The computer doesn't know that you spent all that time drawing those circles, so you could pop those up. Maybe you wanted to pop up the bigger piece, so you have to tell it, I want these circles. Then this time we are going to do blind because we want those to come off the board a 1 inch. We don't want them to go in 1/2 inch and out 1/2 inch. We want them to be a 1 inch. Depth, everything looks good. I hit check, and now I have my additive model. I can, if I want to make this look a little bit better, I can turn off those planes, and now I have just the model on the screen. All right, that's all I've got for you. Hopefully that works.